After 7 long years, I'm going to show you what finally worked for me. It may not work for you. In sources, right-click on your capture card. For me, it's the Elgato 4K Pro. Head on over to Properties. Right where it says Buffering, I have disabled it. Right where it says Use Hardware Decoding when available, I have toggled it on. Essentially, it'll take some load off the CPU and put it on the GPU. You may or may not want to do that. But play around with these two settings, this one here and that one there. Generally, it's on auto detect, which is what I left it on for 7 years through multiple computers, multiple different capture cards. I always had the same issue. That's how I fixed it. Now let's get into a little bit of backstory to make sure that this video is in fact for you, because I did want to get to the point first before I start talking about my story. What would end up happening when I would be playing on my PlayStation or my Xbox or my Switch is over time, the audio would get delayed. So I would like move from game to game on my PlayStation, for example. And it does the beep, but I would move over and then it would take almost half a second, almost a 500 millisecond delay for me to hear the sound. I would have to close OBS, restart it, and then I would be good for about 1 to 2 hours, and it would progressively get worse, and then it would hit about a peak of roughly, I want to say, 500 or 600 millisecond delay for the audio. So the audio was delayed, but the video was always snappy. Okay? I would also go as far as putting your resolution on custom. Don't leave it at device default. I'm not saying it's bad. I just find I've had some slight better consistencies with just overall things going well with hardlining the resolution, your FPS, video format any, color space default, color range default. This is like irrelevant, but I figure while we're here. And then the buffering, like I just explained. Capture audio only for the audio output mode. Okay? Again, you can change this if you want, but for me, this is by far the best. Okay? Now, something else that's important under the audio mixer, we're going to go to the advanced audio properties just to kind of recap here. I have it set to monitor only, mute output. I have to have some monitoring on, otherwise I have no sound. I have a audio interface, good for me, and some studio monitor speakers, and I will hear absolutely jack shit if I don't do that. If I don't mute the output in the recording, you're going to hear an echo. It's got a double. You don't want to hear that. So that's why I do the mute the output. But you're going to hear through your speakers what's going on, okay? This is the sync offset. If you were to add 500 ms, you would get an audio delay. You would experience what I'm talking about. Alternatively, if you do a negative 300, you'll speed it up. I find that this will work if you automatically always have delay and you're trying to speed up the audio. I've never heard of a case where the audio was faster than the video. Not saying it can't happen. I've never heard of that. So you can go ahead and play with that. So again, if you want to speed up the audio because your audio is delayed, that's what this video is about. Put a negative value, minus 100, minus 300. Play around with it until it works. For your tracks, depending on how many devices you've got, everything is always track 1 enabled. Then from the top, 2, everything blank. And the next one, 2, blank, over. Like it's a step, right? I know I might be confusing you, but essentially everything that you have is always going to at least be enabled on track 1. Everything has to be on track 1. You don't really have to follow this. I just find that this is best, and I've talked to some audio engineers, and they've also agreed. Only have each device on their own track afterwards, the one. When it comes to all things with the sound. Then the last thing that you could potentially do, if you really, really wanted to try an alternative method, is you could go ahead and add a source and add an audio input capture. And what that's going to do is it's going to pop up with this here. And then you're going to choose your device. You're going to choose your capture card. And then you're going to have the little microphone thing. Then you would enable it. You would still have this one enabled. But then when you have both enabled like this, you would end up going to your actual Elgato and you would go to monitor off and you would unclick the track from it. You would essentially turn off all the audio to your capture card, and you're going to only have your capture card audio part do its thing. What's the logic behind it? You're separating the audio from the video in the source. And this method that I'm showing you here has actually proven to be a game changer, a lifesaver, a miracle for many people. That method here did not work for me. Playing with the sync offset did not work for me, but it has helped a plethora of people. But what has helped me was that simple little setting that I showed you about the buffering and using the hardware thing when available. Play with a combination of those two settings, like I said, and hopefully 6 minutes. I was hoping this video would be a lot shorter, but it is what it is. Thumbs up as always if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm and trying to make me more relevant in search results. A thumbs down if you didn't like it, and I'll make sure that you hear delayed audio from everybody when they speak, so their lips never match and it'll drive you crazy. And if you want to subscribe naturally, that would be great. And if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And like I said, no two people have the exact same setup. Some things will work for you better than others. You could try all of these settings and they make things worse. But for me, this has been an absolute miracle. And I hope that you get to experience that. Bye for now.